Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to bring you into the kitchen and we are going to make chicken pot pie for dinner. And all the while I will be answering one of your questions. I am starting off by setting out some puff pastry. I usually make the chicken pot pie with pie crust, but my husband has requested me to use puff pastry instead. So it usually takes about a half an hour for the puff pastry to thaw enough to work with. So that is the very first thing I have done. In a pan on the stove, I am frying up some chicken. For seasonings, I'm going to use some Lawry's, onion powder, sea salt, pepper, and garlic powder. My niece Stacy asked me what are the blessings and struggles of being a stay-at-home mom. I think this is a really good subject. I want to open this up to everybody because we all range in different ages. There are some young moms here in our community, and then there are us that are experienced mothers that have been through the struggles of being a stay-at-home mom when our kids are little, or through teens, preteens, the whole entire thing. So let's put our thoughts and ideas down in the comment section below so that we can read each other's ideas and get some good information and encouragement from each other. So blessings of being a stay-at-home mom, there's a lot of blessings to me. Number one is that you get to spend time with your children. You are being able to create a bond between you and your child which will last a lifetime. When they are little, they are in their learning stages, so you are there to help them learn things. You're basically their first teacher. You are teaching them their, alphabet and names. You can play games with them. I remember when the boys were little, we used to do a lot of those memory games. And where you flip the card over to do matching. We did Hi-Ho Cheerio, we did all that stuff, Chutes and Ladders. And I tried to, not every day, depending on our day, but I tried to make sure that we had a one-on-one session with each other more than once during the day, but I really tried to make sure that it was a game, a puzzle, reading books. We used to sit and read books. A lot of times we did that at bedtime. So I just loved that. I love the connection that me and the boys had and the one-on-one that we got and the learning. I love to teach and watch them learn. They're like little sponges and they pick up on just about everything, good or bad. Saying that, a struggle is, I think, one thing you can be shut off from the world. To me, that's how I felt sometimes, because you are so consumed by being that stay-at-home mom and wife, and you are, you do have things that have to be done. You are on some sort of a schedule no matter what, because the kids are taking their naps and doing things like that. You had to have your, you gotta have your housework done. I always had, by the time Jason got home, dinner was ready, and it just kind of made me kind of feel closed off from the world in a way that I didn't always get that girlfriend one-on-one. So really set aside some time if you can to be able to even have them come over with their children and have a play date, or maybe on the weekend dad can stay home with them and you can go out and maybe have some coffee and just fulfill that need that you need, because you need to get fulfilled too with visiting and sharing things with other women, and then that will help your home run a lot smoother. In a bowl, you are going to add 1 can of cream of potato soup and 1 can of cream of chicken soup. You need a half a cup of milk. I'm going to season this with the same seasonings I used on the chicken. After you've mixed the soup together, you are going to add a bag of mixed vegetables. I just have 2 small bags, so that's what I'm going to add to this. I'm going to mix this together and set it aside while you finish cooking your chicken. Once your chicken is cooked through, then you are going to cut it into bite-sized pieces. Another blessing in disguise is being a stay-at-home mom. When your children get sick, you don't have to worry about taking time off from work or finding somebody that will watch your child while you go to work and then worrying about them the whole entire time that you're there. But then saying that the struggle is also them while they are sick. Most of the responsibility falls on your shoulders because the father is outside the house working and supporting the family financially. You basically have everything else fall on your shoulders, and the responsibility can be great sometimes being a stay-at-home mom. Now, I'm not saying that the dad shouldn't help because he should, but you still have the biggest amount of things to do and responsibility in the home. Also, when you're sick, you don't get a sick day. But even when you work outside of the home, you don't get a sick day. You still have everything to do. I've been on both sides. I've been the working mom and I've been the stay-at-home mom. So I know both sides of those lives. Then you are going to take your chicken and you are going to add it to the bowl of ingredients. And you are going to mix this up really well. One blessing is you don't have to buy or wear dress clothes. You can run around in leggings and sweatshirts if you choose to. There are days where I used to wear pajama bottoms, but do not make that a habit. You really do need to get dressed and ready for the day. Your children need to see you looking like a human being, and your husband really does need to see you looking good. I think being a stay-at-home mom is a blessing. I think it's more of a blessing than a struggle to me. There are days when you feel sorry for yourself, or you feel shut off from the world, or you just want some adult conversation. I get that, but your children are the blessing. You have this job before you. It's a big job, but you can do this. You are there to nurture, to comfort, to raise these children. You are forming their thought patterns. You are forming the way that they speak. You are a CEO of your household. If I had to do it all over again, I would stay home with my children, especially when they were little. But even when the boys were in school, public school, they still needed me home. I volunteered a lot. I worked off and on outside of the home through those years. But I had made sure that I had a job where if they needed me, I could take off and go get them. If they were sick or some situation like that, whatever the situation is, I really liked getting a job where I had the summers off when they had the summers off. So I worked in the school system a lot. I am setting my pie pan on top of a cookie sheet in case it bubbles over, then I don't have a huge mess in the oven. But I also sprayed this pan. This is a very deep pan. I like to use a deep dish one, but I have quite a bit of filling, so I used an even deeper dish for that. It's just like a baking dish is all it is. Make sure you have your oven on 350. And at this point, I'm gonna dump the ingredients into the bowl. Oh man, I remember days when I just wanted to run away. If the boys were really moody or grumpy, if they were teething, oh, the teething stage, oh my goodness. Or just them, I mean, they're going to have their grumpy days. We all have our grumpy days. And I just would try to switch their attitude. I have found where if I'm happy and I sing and play and goof off, even now the boys are older, and if I am happy and goofy, it changes the whole entire feeling of our home. And it makes everybody's moods different. If I am just happy and being silly or something like that, it just helps. Maybe if they're feeling sorry for themselves, you can get their minds off it by doing something with them. To take them out of the house, that's a struggle in itself. But a lot of times I would wait for Jason to come home, and he would help me, I would have them ready, and he would help me load them up into the car, into their car seats and all that, and then off we would go. Even if we didn't go anywhere and Jay would just drive around, it did me a world of good to get out of the house. We would just drive around, we would visit, maybe we'd get a drink, get the kids something to drink, you know, I would have snacks, and we would just get out of the house. I used to take them to the library. The libraries are great. It's a free activity. They get to play with games, they get to play with toys, they can pick out books. What I'm doing is my puff pastry is pretty much thawed out. I can open it now, so I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. Hopefully I don't break it. I might have to, you know what, I'm gonna get my rolling pin. I'm gonna roll it out a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to get it to fit this pan as best I can. You know, being a stay-at-home mom too, you don't always have the funds to be able to go out and get the latest and greatest fashions, or the, you know, you don't get to have extra spending money all of the time, because a lot of it is going into the home and the children. So I was always looking for something free to do, of a free activity. Even going to the park, oh, what fun. We would even go to like 7-Eleven or a gas station. We'd get a little cheap 99-cent drink, and off we would go to the park. And just that alone was enough for everybody to just, it lifted our spirits, got us out of the home, and we just really had a lot of fun. Placing the puff pastry over the pan, I'm gonna kind of give it a little bit of edging here. I'm gonna cut some slits in it, and I think I'm gonna do a little egg wash with some egg and water, and do an egg wash on it, and then it'll brown up really good in the oven. I used just the yolk of an egg, a little bit of water, mix it up, and I'm going to put that over the top of the puff pastry. I'm going to put this in a 350-degree oven and cook it for about 40 to 60 minutes. The recipe to this chicken pot pie will be below, so make sure you grab a hold of it. I wanted to keep tonight's dinner simple because a lot of times, especially if you have little ones, you don't always have the time to make some big extravagant dinner. So I thought this is a very fast, quick, easy meal that is also comfort food. A lot of people assume that being a stay-at-home mom, it's just not rewarding. And that is so not true. Being a stay-at-home mom is very rewarding, and your reward is your children. I hope this chat has encouraged all of you mamas out there, whether you are working outside of the home or you are working inside of the home. If you enjoyed this type of video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.